Hi, this is Carl Emilius, and today we're going to look at the SEASONIC PX 850 power supply.
Hey, so what do we have here? This is called a power supply. And what does a power supply do? It basically powers your whole system. Now, this is the most power efficient power supply I've seen. There's a couple of them probably better, but the Seasonic brand is one of the best brands. And we have a Platinum Plus 80 series, and it's called the Focus PX 850. We're going to do an unboxing, and then we'll go forward with it. All right? So let's see what we have in the box. I'm opening it up. I'm going to move it around. And we have instructions. Pretty good. We have here, look at this. With Seasonic, they look at the attention to detail. Here we have a thick power cord. You need a thick power cord because it's safer, it's better, it's more power efficient when you're drawing the electricity to the power supply, then the power supply to the various components of the computer, mainly the motherboard first. That's good. It comes with padding on the top. Very good. Here's a motherboard connector. We have some ties. You're going to need those for cable management. And here is a bag. It's a big bag. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. This has all the cables in it. But I really wanted to take this out right here. And by the way, it was padded with this on the bottom. So it's pretty efficient. I'm going to move the box out of the way here. So here's another reason why I got the Seasonic PX 850 Platinum Edition. It's small. It can fit most, if not all, computers. So I'm going to take this out right now. So let's go part of the units. So here's the Focus PX 850 Platinum Plus power supply. So this is the hybrid silent fan. So basically what this is it's pretty cool. You push it in. If you're not drawing a lot of power, you want to turn your fan off, you have that option. You press this button and your fan stays off. And I guess they have some stuff that's built inside, some metals that will cool the system passively, which is pretty cool. So we're going on to the fan. It's a 120 bearing fan. It's pretty cool. It's small. It's very silent. We go to the back of the case, and it's 100% modular. And what that means is basically there's no wires connected to this unit at all. And that is huge. That is huge, huge. Because you can only pick what you need. And if you don't need half of them, well, you can leave half of them in this bag. And it just clears up space and you have better airflow in your case. So it's pretty cool. So now I wanted to show you some of the cables it came with. We're going to go here. So here is the cable. It's what they think about. They think about the consumer. And they don't think the person's the smartest person or the dumbest person. They just want to make it simple for anyone. So what they do is, in their cable, for example, this is a CPU cable. They have PSU. So this would plug into the power supply, because it says PSU. And these two CPUs, this would plug into the motherboard. CPU, we'll get to that. And that's what they do with everything. So you have two CPU cables. Looks like you have a SATA, which is your SSD, your older SSD power cable. Looks like we got a few of those. We got a few SATA cable. This is the SATA cable. This is the SATA cable. Let's see here. Here we go. We got, gosh, 3, 4, 5, 6 different cables for SATA. We have your standard regular 3.5-inch hard drive or something like that power cable. These are fairly older cables. They're not really used much, but you still got to include them because a lot of people still use their old metal hard drives. So we got 2 of those. Now, here's another thing. It says PCIe. PCIe. That stands for PCI Express. So what this really is, it's not a cable to plug into your PCI Express. It's a cable that really plugs into your video card. And your video card plugs into the PCI Express port. So they included a few of these. This is why. This is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. They included 3 of these because mainly a lot of people nowadays, when you have an 850 watt power supply, you're using a lot of power usually. And a lot of power, one of the main users of the power is the video card. So you're looking at a lot of gamers that are possibly buying this board. Or maybe it's a person with a high-end video system that uses a big video card and a big processor that they consume a lot of power. So that's another thing. So in the manual, I noticed they would like you to plug in 2 of these and have both these cables run separately to the video card. And so they usually give you a 3rd one if you have an insane like double video card system, or you lose one, either or. This is an adapter. This is the old, again, SSD to 3.5 power, I call it, adapter. So if you need an adapter for anything like this. And last but not least, this is probably the most important connector because it powers your motherboard. And your motherboard is basically, well, it's the mother of your computer. All the components connect to that one board. Your video card, your memory, your CPU, sound card, they all connect to the motherboard. So the motherboard, I think, is the most important component. It really is. They say the CPU is, but I would say no, because the motherboard, if the motherboard's not working, nothing's not working. I mean, CPU's not working, nothing's not working, but you can have a sound card not work and your system's still working. So it depends. And this is the adapter, I guess. I got this other adapter, and I guess this could be used as, I guess if you have an ATX board, if you need a larger extension, this would be it, or seems like it's some sort of adapter in some way. So that is the rundown of all the system. So again, we also have the cable ties that we do cable management. So these cables look nice and pretty. We have some ties to tie them up. Like we have the thick power cord. It's safer. It's more power efficient. I like that when they include a thick quality power cord like this. And we got two lovely Seasonic bags. One to put the power supply in and one to put all the cables in. All right, and that's it.
Okay, this is part of the video where I wanted to be very clear about some of the features about the SEASONIC PX 850 Focus power supply. One of the best. This company's probably actually the best power supply maker. I'm going to go into depth about, there's some things I didn't mention and some things I did mention, but you should listen to this because it will help you get a better understanding of this power supply. All right, thank you. Hey, one thing I left out about the SEASONIC Focus PX 850 is that when you see the Platinum 80 Plus sign, and I'll show an arrow to show that in the video, is that suppose you had 50% of power usage. Well, you're actually using and you're achieving a 92% efficiency power rating at that level. So that's excellent. So what that means is you can have greater system stability. You're going to use, less power, and it's just very, very good power efficiency. So it's actually impressive because at 20% of your power usage, you're not going to be overusing your power. You're going to be at about an 80, 90, 90% power efficiency. So that means you're not overusing your power. So that could lead to instability or waste. So even when you're at 100% power rating, you're still at the 89 to 90% of power efficiency. So again, you basically are only using the power that you're using. I mean, that sounds funny, but I mean, you're one, you're going to be very stable. Two, your electric bill is going to be great. And three, you're not going to have any headaches. I mean, it's and it's cool and it's quiet and it's very efficient and very effective. And basically, that's what that means. Another thing I'd like to mention is that this power supply is a fully modular cabling design. So basically, what that means is you see all the cables in my video. It's you can use the cables that you only need. You literally plug them into the power supplies. For instance, if you're only using one SATA cable, then you only have to use one SATA cable. Traditional or older power supplies would have all the connectors in one big bound weave, and it would have a lot of clutter. And so here you can minimize your clutter with that. So you basically only need the cables that you need. So if you just need a one power supply cable and one video card cable, that's it. And then you have the cable for the motherboard, that's it. That's all you need. There's no need to clutter the system. And so you want your system to look nice inside. So the cable management is going to be much more efficient. Another asset this power supply has is it's so small. It's only 140 millimeters. So at this ultra high power density, you have a small footprint of 140 millimeters. So it virtually can fit any case, really any case. And look at the power and efficiency that you get for this. So all AT, um, all ATX cases, it can fit. Definitely. Micro ATX, it can fit. And even some ITX cases, it can fit. And that is great for a power supply of this caliber. And not only is it a compact size, but it has a 120 millimeter fluid dynamic bearing FDB fan. So I guess the lubrication inside the FDB greatly reduces friction, vibration, and noise. So this is a super, super, super quiet power supply. And that's why a lot of people purchase this power supply. And it is very reliable. It will last the lifetime of the power supply. This fan will last the lifetime, easy. Another thing I wanted to mention is that it also, this power supply has highly reliable Japanese 105 aluminum electrolytic capacitors. They're top grade, they're made in Japan, they're source components that extend the product's life and ensure that it operates under super stable conditions. And those stable conditions are actually under very extreme conditions. So this will operate under super stable conditions under the most extreme conditions. Okay, so another excellent thing that this power supply has, where I'm referring once again to the SEASONIC Focus PX 850, is it has this Seasonic hybrid silent fan control. So basically you have an option to turn the fan off when you're not using or consuming a lot of power. Now, when you do this, it saves extra money. It saves wear and tear on the fan, and it's very, very, very quiet, and it cools through the various metal passive coolers. That's it, passive coolers, which are the metal conductors inside the power supply unit. Or you can leave it on just regular fan, and then when it gets hotter, the fan will turn on, or just run all the time. I personally, I mean, I don't know if I'd use that. I mean, I guess if you're editing or something, you might find it's very worthwhile. But I mean, this power supply is super quiet as it is, and I'd rather have all my components stay nice and cool as opposed to passively cooling them. I guess it's pretty good, but I would just probably just leave all my fans on. But I mean, it's a good feature for some people. The Seasonic hybrid silent fan control. So yet another feature is that it has tight voltage regulation. So, for example, at 12 volts, 5 volts, and 3.3 volts, they're all going to be operating on plus or minus 3%. So, this is huge because improves load regulation and reduces voltage variations to provide a smooth and stable environment. And that is big time, big time. Plus, it has ample 12-volt output, which enhances the current capability and broadens possibilities. So basically, you are less likely to overload if if you have a powerful video card or you're using massive amount of power at one time. Because I remember I used to have cheap power supplies and they would explode because they couldn't handle what my components were dishing out at the time. And this is nothing. It's just like an even flow. It's like a nice flow of electricity, and nothing's wrong. And the biggest thing too, it has a DC to DC converter design. So what this means is that it automatically just goes to DC to DC, and so you're getting a great response and you're getting superior system stability. I mean, that is huge, huge. So like I said, you're not gonna have like my power supply exploding when I'm playing a video game on a somewhat high end video card. And I was using this cheap thing I got at like I think it was called Geek Squad way back in the day, and I shouldn't have done that. I mean, now I have this 850. I don't have to worry about anything. I mean, I could crossfire and do whatever, and nothing's gonna fail. Not with this one. Plus, you have, a cable free connection design. So instead of the cables being all connected in the back, they're not, they're free. So this leads to, you know, less errors or no errors, but, improves, overall output and, power quality. Plus, it comes with gold plated high current terminals, MB CPU and PCI Express for your motherboard, your CPU, and your PCI Express for your video card. I mean, it's great, and the biggest thing is it also comes with a 10-year warranty. That is sick. I mean, that says, that's a company that stands by their product. I mean, if it comes with a 10-year warranty, you have nothing to worry about because that's how confident they are in their products. It's like, look, we are making this so well, we're going to give you a 10-year warranty. All right. Thank you. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube station. Thank you very much.
So we're going to go through all these components. I hope you're excited. I really hope you're excited. I'm excited.